Once upon a time in ancient Persia, there was a small village nestled between the mountains and the desert. The villagers were kind-hearted and always ready to help each other. Among them lived an old man named Amir, known far and wide for his wisdom and kindness. He was not wealthy, but he had a wealth of knowledge. In the same village lived a rich man named Qasim. Unlike Amir, Qasim was known for his greed and unkindness. He had accumulated his wealth by taking advantage of the poor and was always looking for ways to increase his riches without caring about others. One hot summer day, as Amir was sitting under the shade of an old sycamore tree, a young boy approached him. "Uncle Amir," said the boy, "I have heard you are very wise. I need your help." Amir smiled gently. "What troubles you, young one?" he asked. "My father is very ill, and we cannot afford the medicine he needs. Can you tell me what to do?" Amir thought for a moment and then said, "Go to Qasim's house and ask for his help. Tell him that Amir has sent you." The boy was hesitant but did as he was told. He knocked on Qasim's grand door, and when it opened, he explained his situation and mentioned Amir's name. Qasim, no respect for Amir, sneered and slammed the door in the boy's face. The boy returned to Amir and recounted what had happened. Amir, however, was not surprised. "Do not worry," he said. "I have another idea." Amir instructed the boy to gather some herbs from a nearby field and bring them to him. The boy obeyed, and when he returned, Amir showed him how to prepare a simple remedy. "This will help your father for now," he said, "but we need to teach Qasim a lesson." The next day, Amir went to see Qasim. He carried with him a small chest, beautifully decorated with intricate designs. When Qasim saw Amir, he frowned. "What do you want, old man?" he asked gruffly. Amir smiled. "I have come to offer you a gift," he said, opening the chest to reveal a dazzling collection of gold coins and precious jewels. Qasim's eyes widened with greed. "What do you want in return?" he asked suspiciously. "Only your word," Amir replied. "Promise me that you will help anyone in this village who comes to you in need." Qasim hesitated, but the lure of the treasure was too strong. "I promise," he said, reaching for the chest. Amir closed the chest and handed it to him. "Remember your promise," he said as he turned to leave. Days turned into weeks, and Qasim's greed continued to grow. He had forgotten his promise to Amir. One evening, as he was counting his gold, he noticed that some of the coins were missing. He counted again and again, but the coins continued to disappear. Panicking, he rushed to Amir. "Old man, you tricked me," he shouted. "The gold you gave me is vanishing." Amir remained calm. "I did not trick you," he said. "The gold disappears because you have broken your promise. If you help those in need, the gold will return." Qasim was furious, but he had no choice. He grudgingly began to help the villagers, hoping to regain his lost wealth. To his amazement, as he helped others, the gold coins began to reappear in the chest. For the first time in his life, Qasim felt a sense of fulfillment alone had never given him. A new dawn. As Qasim continued to help others, he noticed a change within himself. The joy and gratitude of the villagers warmed his heart. He began to understand the true value of kindness and generosity. The more he gave, the more he received, not just but in friendship and respect. One day, Qasim approached Amir with tears in his eyes. "Thank you," he said. "You have shown me that true wealth is not in gold, but in the happiness and well-being of those around us." Amir smiled and embraced Qasim. "You have learned an important lesson," he said. "Remember, the more you give, the richer you become." The village transformed. Word of Qasim's transformation spread throughout the village, and soon the entire community began to follow his example. The village prospered like never before, not just in material wealth, but in spirit and unity. The villagers worked together, supported each other, and lived in harmony. Amir, now older and frailer, watched with pride as his village flourished. He knew that his work was done, and he could rest knowing that his people were on the right path. One evening, as the sun set over the mountains, Amir passed away peacefully in his sleep. The entire village mourned his loss, but they also celebrated his life and the wisdom he had imparted. They erected a small shrine in his honor, a place where they could come to remember his teachings and find guidance in times of need. Years passed, and the village continued to thrive. The story of Amir and Qasim was passed down from generation to generation, becoming a cherished legend. Children grew up hearing the tale and learning the values of kindness, generosity, and wisdom. Qasim, who had once been the epitome of greed, became a beloved figure in the village. He spent the rest of his life helping others, and that Amir's legacy lived on. He often visited the shrine, offering prayers and reflecting on the lessons he had learned. The village, once small and unremarkable, became known far and wide for its compassion and prosperity. Travelers from distant lands came to see the place where the wise old man had lived, and to learn from the villagers who had embraced his teachings. In the end, the story of Amir and Qasim teaches us that true wealth is not measured by material possessions, but by the love and respect we earn from others. Kindness and generosity have the power to transform not only individuals, but entire communities. As long as we remember and live by these values, we can create a world filled with happiness and harmony. And so, the legacy of Amir, the wise old man, lives on in the hearts and minds of all who hear his story, reminding us that the greatest treasure of all is the goodness we share with others.